But these next 2 years are going to be even bigger. But I thought I'd honor 2003's movies by giving you my top 10 of 2013. Now, I haven't seen everything that came out this year. Like, I haven't seen The Butler, Gravity, 12 Years a Slave, the Nelson Mandela movie, or not even Saving Mr. Banks. Now, I'm not saying had I seen every movie that came out this year, they'd be on this list. I'm just saying, like, those particular movies in particular, if I have seen them, I'm pretty sure they'd be on this list. Now, before I get started, I'll let you know a few of my honorable mentions. 42, Kick-Ass 2, Despicable Me 2, The Great Gatsby, Spring Breakers, Star Trek Into Darkness, Tyler Perry's Temptation, Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, Oz the Great and Powerful, The Conjuring, This Is the End, Monsters University, Iron Man 3, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, and Pacific Rim. And now, here are my top 10 favorite movies of 2013. I'm kicking off this list with an animation film. Now, initially, my favorite animated film of the year was Monsters University, until Frozen came out this year. I love this movie in every way. This movie took back to what I like about old Disney with its musical-like feel. Characters were great, story was great, and it's visually stunning. Props to the Disney animation department. Between Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen, they're really starting to get their niche back. Coming in at number 9, I will say this is definitely the year where Hollywood was trying to prove that movies based on young adult novels were not shit. I mean, we had Beautiful Creatures, The Host, The Mortal Instruments. None of those movies really knocked it out the park like The Hunger Games Catching Fire. I swear this movie is like the Empire Strikes Back of the franchise. They just step it up in every way possible. Francis Lawrence is going to direct the next and last book, which is apparently going to be split into 2 movies, because I guess that's the money-grabbing thing to do nowadays. Yes, it may seem like a cash grab, but after seeing Catching Fire, I can't wait to see what Francis Lawrence does with the remainder of the franchise. You know how every now and then they make a sequel to a movie that just seems unnecessary? You're like, why are they doing this? And then when you do finally see it, you're like, holy shit, that turned out better than I expected. Yeah, well, The Best Man Holiday was that for me. Coming in at number 8. Yeah, I'll admit, I was really pessimistic about this movie, but it really caught me by surprise. Malcolm D. Lee, Taye Diggs, Sana Lathan, Nia Long, Boris Chestnut, everybody that had something to do with this movie, I am so sorry I doubted you. However, this doesn't give you permission to make a 3rd movie. Coming in at number 7, this next movie is based on a true story. Now, did they handle the story right? No, not exactly. But if you can look past that, you will actually enjoy this movie for what it is, and that is Pain and Gain. I love this movie because it was a throwback to old Michael Bay that we all used to know and love. You know, Bad Boys Michael Bay. Other than that, this movie was really enjoyable. This is one of my performances by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And Michael Bay, after Transformers 4, please make a Bad Boys 3. Please, just do it, please. My number 1 anticipation of 2014 is X-Men Days of Future Past. And I couldn't be more excited for it after watching The Wolverine. This is the true Wolverine film that I liked after that shit-turd X-Men Origins Wolverine. I love the tone and style of the film. And the day Hugh Jackman decides to quit being Wolverine, that will be a very, very sad day. I'm pretty sure I'm not the first person to say this. That Michael Jordan kid, he's going to be a star! I'm not talking about Michael Jordan the athlete, I'm talking about Michael B. Jordan the actor for his performance in Fruitvale Station. I didn't get a chance to see this movie in theaters, but luckily before the year ended, they released this movie digitally. I watched it, and it was just a sad and tragic film. Seriously, this movie had me on the verge of tears after watching what really happened to him, yo. Now, some of the stuff that happened in the movie didn't really happen in real life, but they really did a good job illustrating what happened to Oscar Grant on his last day leading up to what happened to him. You know what I like? A movie that has originality. And no movie was more original than Don John. I saw this movie in theaters, I saw this movie again on digital copy, and I still enjoyed it like I did in the theaters. I watched this movie with my friends, and one of them said that this movie changed his life on how he views relationships. So props to Joseph Gordon-Levitt for writing, directing, and producing, and starring in this film. Good job to Scarlett Johansson, Julianne Moore, Tony Danza, and everyone that had something to do with this movie. Even after this movie's success, it still has divided fans. Then a lot of news came out this year about the future of the franchise. Between Ben Affleck being cast as Batman, Gal Gadot being cast as Wonder Woman, I'm really excited for Batman vs. Superman or World's Finest or whatever they're going to call this movie. But for right now, it's all about Man of Steel. I have watched this movie at least 10 times. This movie did a good job at establishing the tone and style of this DC cinematic universe that apparently every studio is trying to do. Zack Snyder and company really knocked this movie out of the park for me. I was never really a huge Superman fan to begin with, but after watching this movie not once but more times, I might actually go back and watch the old films. To those fans out there that are complaining that this isn't really a Superman movie, shut up, alright? Stop complaining. Either that or y'all just don't like it because it's not like the old Superman films. Those movies will always have a place in people's hearts, but those movies have come and gone. This is a new Superman universe, and you better get used to it if you want to survive the next Superman movie. I gotta have a Marvel movie in here somewhere, and if some of you are saying that Wolverine's Marvel, yeah, Wolverine's Marvel, but he's not owned by Disney Marvel. Unfortunately, Wolverine and any other X-Men are owned by Fox. Now, Iron Man 3 was good and all, but I didn't really have fun with a Marvel movie like I did Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World is the follow-up to the first Thor film, and also the Thor follow-up movie from the Avengers. I absolutely love this movie, and other than the Hulk, right now Thor is probably my favorite Avenger. I was never on the Loki train before, but after watching this movie, now I'm on the Loki train. I can't wait to see what they do with Loki in the next Thor film, or Avengers film, if he's ever going to appear in another one ever again. Most people know that I am a huge Fast and Furious fan, and if you haven't seen this movie on this list yet, well, that is because I put it at #1 of my favorite movie of 2013, and that is Fast and Furious 6. I absolutely love this movie. When it came out in Blu-ray and DVD, I was done for like a week. Y'all couldn't talk to me. I just love the fact that these movies get better and better every time. But with the passing of Paul Walker, I'm afraid this franchise might take a hit, but that's okay now because I heard that they're going to push this movie back until April of 2015. Like I thought they would, so they can rework Fast and Furious 7, so that they can take the time to make a good movie instead of cranking it out a year after the 6th movie. I'm still mad Paul Walker is dead, but hey, at least they're pumping the brakes on Fast and Furious 7 now. But for right now, it's all about Fast and Furious 6 as my #1 favorite film of 2013. And that's my top 10 of 2013. Rest in peace, 2013. Come on! Thank you for giving me an awesome year of movies, but 2013 was just the tip of the iceberg, because these next 2 years for movies are going to be on the one, son. But that's it for the day. You like what you see, you want to see more, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel. The links are in the description below. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. See you next year. Peace.